Hey, Jacob Nadav, BellyProof. We're going to talk a little bit about asymmetrical design today, about how you can triple your fat loss or even quadruple it just by applying little tricks to movement. So I want to start with something really simple: the balance of exercise. So people have a different way of finding balance in their training. For some people, it's just eat normal and exercise. That's the balance. But like we know, there's a lot of nuances to diet. Same with exercises. So when you step up a level, you may get people saying, "Oh, cardio and weights." And when you go to say bodybuilders or mainstream gym, you'd start getting into muscle groups. Okay, so back and biceps, chest and tricep. This is how you cover your entire body. Da 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 da. When you get a bit more clever with those things, you start understanding that there are movement patterns. Okay, so look, there are 640 muscles roughly on the human body, and we all agree that muscle activity is paramount for weight loss, not just for metabolism and all those things that you can watch the other videos if it doesn't make sense to you yet, but also because, say, the fat burning happens in type 1 muscle fibers, which means the more type 1 muscle fibers we can activate simultaneously around the body, the more fat we can burn. Simple, right? Assuming we've broken it first. Again, watch the other video. If it needs to make more sense, it will. Now, what if I can tell you, you can try and isolate 640 muscles, or even go compound movements and get a few more than, one or two. Or you can basically take the body and split it into 7 movement patterns. And if you work through movement patterns, you can cover every single muscle in your body every single time in 7 movement patterns instead of in 640 exercises. Who do you think is going to do better? When we talk about cardiovascular, CV, cardiac muscle, that's the heart. If we can produce this response on the heart, okay, say via sprints or other type of cardio, and we're really happy with our results, just imagine the heart is one muscle. What if we can replicate that result into 640 muscles all at once? Are we going to do better? Are we? There's another neat subject I want to cover. If you take a squat, okay, let's say you can do a really nice squat. Fine. You want to make it harder. You want to make it, you want to get better muscle activity. What do? Usually you add weight, right? Well, there's other ways to do it. But if I am going towards the weight route, what happens is if you load, say, a 20 kilos bar on your back, for example, what happens if you just load a 10, but you hold it on one side? Suddenly the weight shifts me, okay, to either side as I move down into a squat. I have to resist it with so many multiple muscles. Or maybe even if you try something like a half kneeling position where your center of mass spills over your left and your right. Try that. See how it's almost like you're not moving, but stuff are working, and you're working almost like all over the body on a small scale, which is exactly what you want for fat burning. Let's compare that to a few training protocols. Well, in cardio, let's put it like that. If you stood all day and did bicep curls, just this one exercise, you can expect problems, right? I don't know, shoulder injury and elbow injury, even though it would be technically cardio. So regardless if you're on the bike, cross trainer or treadmill, the friendly treadmill, you are essentially doing one exercise. There's zero balance. What about mainstream training? Anything from P90X, Insanity, gym classes like body pump, freeletics. Well, the exercise choices in there are often not based on movement patterns, just whatever makes you sweat. So there is a lot more exercises, but from a kinetic point of view, still very little in the way of balance. Traditional bodybuilding, splitting muscle groups, legs day, back and shoulders, arms day, there is no asymmetry, so it can't benefit from the 3 to 4 times more activation you get when you go asymmetrical. There is also no 7 movement patterns. There's muscles, and that's it. 640 of them. Good luck with that. If you analyze the BellyProof from a functional standpoint, you'd find out some very interesting things. First of all, it covers all the functional patterns in a very tight way.
That means you've got multiple variations for squat, hinge, push, pull, single leg stance, etc. You've got clever kinetic chains that are based on symmetrical activation of the anterior core, for example, to release protective tension from movements later on. Lastly, most of the breaking patterns happen symmetrically, where it's more likely you're going to engage type 2B fibers if you choose the intensity right. And nearly all the aerobic exercise is geared toward type 1 muscle fibers, and we do it asymmetrically because that allows us to multiply the muscle activity by 3 to 4 times, hence the faster results.
My challenge to you today, and this is not designed for people who got my BellyProof program. If you got that one, trust me, you got it covered. You got a hell of a good program on your hands. But if you're trying to improve your weight loss, my challenge to you, think, how can I work out better? And that means you're going to have to start thinking away from, I'll do a bit of cardio and a little bit of weights and a little bit of stretching. It's not what it's about. You're going to have to start thinking a little bit away, if you really want to start doing better, from I'll try and cover every muscle group, my posterior delts, my chest and triceps, my back and biceps, and let's not forget squat. Instead, think by movement patterns. You've got push, pull. You've got different foot stances. So you've got single leg stance, symmetry, or asymmetrical stance. You've got hips down and you've got hips back. And lastly, you've got the core functions. So that's anti-extension, anti-rotation, anti-lateral flexion. Everything done left and right. So the fat breaking type of things, usually you can get better at them by going symmetrical. There's a few exceptions. And the fat burning, well, the asymmetry, as we covered earlier, can multiply and triple and quadruple your muscle activity on a low intensity. So that would be great for fat burning after you've broken the fat. See how it goes. I'm here if you need a little bit of, happy to help you if you've got bits and questions, or if you've got really good questions, I'm happy to answer. I hope you use this powerful video, do something with it, produce results, and have a great day.